The views and opinions expressed by our host and guests are of their own opinion and experience and are not representative of their occupations, houses of worship, or any other intellectual property. Athens Avenue is not liable for its audience's adaptation of said experience over the next hour.
What is Athens Ave? Athens Ave is a hangout where the body of Christ can come and wrestle with our witness in the world that is becoming increasingly intolerant to our presence, to our position, and most of all, the praise to our God. What is Athens Ave? It's where we give a biblical worldview on life and ministry and seek to courageously respond to it as it's happening. You never know who you might see on Athens Ave. On Athens Ave, you're going to hear gossip in the pew. You're going to hear a fight in this corner. And on Athens Ave, we'll provide wisdom from the men of Issachar. It's always going down on Athens Ave. Make sure you make a right on Athens Ave. Yeah, I thought about kicking the freestyle. I always think about it and then this is done. 8. I'll do it this way. 8. Are we here or what?
8 is great. It makes me shout, hooray!
Episode 8.
We are in the season
Finale. Huh?
Okay, of season 2.
Funny.
This is so exciting. How was your week?
When you're having fun. Huh?
You must be crazy.
He good.
Week was good.
I was trying to get your key. I was trying
Day
to
was
get
good.
Yeah.
I'm songs in the key of life, girl. What?
Okay, come on.
So-
Shout out to Stevie.
Yeah,
You didn't think I knew it. Is what you
Yeah.
didn't
You
think I
better
knew.
know it. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
So you had a
No,
good
no.
week.
Absolutely.
Okay, busy as usual. 'Cause
Absolutely.
It wouldn't be right if it wasn't busy.
It wouldn't
right?
be. You know what I mean? My mom
Yes,
used
well,
to say, idle mind is a devil's workshop, you know.
right.
So I just got to keep it pushing, you know what I mean?
Understood.
But yeah, it's episode 8.
It's
how you-
episode 8.
How you feel about that?
Honestly, I'm always honest. I don't even know why I say, can I be honest? Because, I'm going to be honest anyway. I actually had such a good time this season. I am looking forward to the outtakes. I feel like this season we not only grew together, because people don't see us, doing all the things, but we laughed so much this season.
Yeah.
And that was a really good for our souls.
You
And,
know what it meant to me? It meant that we felt really comfortable coming in this time. Like, the first time it was fresh, it was new. I mean, you're the only one who was a seasoned.
Oh gosh, I'm not seasoned, but
go
ahead.
The rest of us, we all virgins. We coming in here fresh in this podcast world. I ain't virgin to the mic, but
because my mic sounds nice. Okay.
So but yeah. So coming in and so the way we came in, the way we kind of came together to jump to our segments and do what we do, I just felt like there just was a chemistry, that we've created that kind of just, that flows, So I thought it was dope. I thought it was fine.
We locked in.
It just seemed to go so much faster than season 1.
I mean, we're on the ad. We talk about everything on Athens Ave. And speaking of talking about everything,
what are we doing for the finale? What is the in the pew finale?
Actually, I think it's going to end well. Okay, it's going to be another tight video, but everybody can see it. You know what it's saying. Hi, everybody. This should really be a good one. Okay, I was trying to think of something that was really current and to get, all the pastors' opinions. Let's take a look. I've got something to tell you. I've got some news in the pew.
In the pew.
Hey.
Hey, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay, so let me give you these results and not beat around the bush. It says the results are probable paternity 99.999
So, why did I choose this? Okay, so I'll tell you why I chose it. I
That was
chose
Kirk
it.
Franklin, wasn't it?
It was Kirk Franklin. Yep,
Okay.
Kirk and Tammy. Shout out to the Franklin family. We know Kirk to have been in just all types of tabloids. You know, he's talked openly about being adopted, and so here is a video with him finding out that the father he thought was his father was not his father. It was a totally different person. So those are the paternity results. Everybody was kind of trying to throw shade like, uh-oh, Kirk was stepping out. No, this is about a 50-plus-year-old man finding out that the person he, even though he was adopted, thought was his father was not. And so I brought this up because in this day and age, we are emasculating our men. And I wanted to choose this topic as a female because I don't agree with it. I don't like it. We have our women who are saying that they can raise kids and do everything by themselves and they don't need men. And that's not really true. We all need our fathers. And so I wanted to get your opinions, because I'm sure after you go, we'll have PK and R-Dub come in about the importance of a father and maybe a little opinion on how you think this is going to affect Kurt. You know, uh, how does it turn out? Like nobody knows. Will they take the time to get to know one another? Does he still want to have a relationship? Does he need him? All of these things. And so I'm sure we'll start to learn more and I'll keep us updated, next season about more details about it. Cause right now that's all we have. And as he releases this new project, I'm sure he'll probably put more videos out to let us know kind of the backstory. So you got the stage.
When it comes to fathers, I, have dealt with daddy deprivation my entire life.
Okay.
Of not having my father in my life, and so that hurt me. That robbed me of some things. I know God is sovereign, and so I know ultimately He prepared me the way He wanted to prepare me, so that I could have a heart for those without fathers, and I do. So I have a heart for the fatherless. I desperately want to have the best kind of relationship with my own children. I want them to know that their father is here and love them. And so I know what it feels like not to have it. I know what it feels like to have a surrogate. As the men who played a part in my life, David Hill and Hal Hopkins, who fathered me when I didn't have that, in my life, spiritual fathers who came along and stood in the gap. It made me, not having a father made me homophobic. Not having a father made me a womanizer, and not having a father made me a bully. Made me want to challenge every man to prove that I was a man, even though I didn't have a man in my life. So it scarred me. Ultimately, I walked into therapy and got some healing from my hurt and from my hatred. It's a reason I had a nickname on my name. I didn't want nobody to ever call me Larry because I was named after my father. I don't like the name Larry because it was his name. And so everybody who know me as something else based on a season of life I was in. But people go to school with me, everything. Folks were like, don't know me as Larry at all. They be like, who is Larry? Like,
Wow. Right.
Like that's never been a name I just give. So that father thing is strong. And I always say, whether or not, your man was good enough to be your man or not, that's not as much the issue.
Right.
I'm saying, especially when those who broke up, the issue is whether or not he's good enough to be a daddy, to your kid. You know what I mean? Because don't allow your personal relationship and vindictiveness and hurt. Don't let that rob the kid of having a father as is up to you. Because when I talk about the fatherless stats and where kids end up, male and female, without fathers, I could run it down. It's not well. God designed us to have both parents.
Both parents. Yes.
You know, and it's great if it's biological, but if it's not, that, you know, it still has to be. And each of us need to do our best. Fathers who think, hey, I ain't messing with that kids because I don't want to mess with their mom. That got to be the stupidest thing I ever heard.
You're
and
right.
Women, because I ain't messing with him, so you can't mess with your kid. I feel the same way about that.
Yes, and my father died when I was 6 going on 7, right? I did have a stepfather who's also passed, but I understand. I wanted to know my biological father. I just thought it was so unfair that God would do that, like, to me. And I don't have any men. So, like, when I have my big brothers, I cherish them, but women need that too. We need, because that's how we learn how to choose our mate, right? How our father loves us and treats us. And so I'm gonna bring in R-Dub and PK.
You started serious, and we're going to end the season serious.
Look,
huh?
it is what it is. It's in the pew.
My perspective on fatherhood is very different than what PA and Sonia has just shared. My father has always been he's still alive. 80, he'll be 80 in a couple of weeks. Very strong, positive presence in my life. I cherish what I've had with my dad, and have learned to cherish it so much more as I get closer to 50. You know, you appreciate dad's your father so much more as I see stuff like this with Kurt. As I see stuff like that, I learn to appreciate what a father is and the presence and the fact that I can call him up and get advice. I can talk about my day. We just have a very good relationship now. And I just appreciate who he's been. And when I hear of the pain and I see it in Kurt, and I hear you all talk about that, in one sense, I'm like, wow, I'm so grateful that my father has been in my life. And in another sense, I'm like, wow, but these folks have been robbed of that. And it's I almost sometimes shy away from talking about how good my life has been because of my father's presence and a very strong and positive presence in my life. You know what? In our society, I don't think we know what to do with dads.
Appreciate that, because I'm in your camp there, PK, because I don't know what it's like to grow up without a father. I have a number of stories, going to the football games and chopping it up. It's good. My nieces, whose father died when they were very young, and the Lord had me step in the role as a father figure for them. And, you have to be a role model, but I learned that from him. And I thank God for that experience. And I just feel for those that did not have it.
But here's the thing, guys, and we're going to head out to our commercial break. Fathers are important. Dads are important. I loved this topic. I think we need to do more for our dads. We need to support our fathers and the men who also step up to help, as bonus fathers. But yeah, I'm sorry to be heavy on in this view, but
yeah, that was heavy. Can I put in a prayer request?
Before I go to commercial break?
Yeah, can I do that?
Go ahead.
Can we have long lines on Father's Day at restaurants like we do for Mother's Day?
I agree.
Come on, man. You know all the stuff.
I agree. Listen. I agree. Because I have a good husband and he is a good father, and it's hard to even find cards.
I mean, since we're going to continue this conversation, the reason you don't have the long lines on Father's Day is not because the restaurants not open. It's not because they don't have the food. It's because most of us fathers don't want to go out to no restaurant on Father's Day.
That is true too.
We'd rather stay home throw something on the grill, put our feet up, watch a game, or do like we don't want to go out to dinner. 9 times out of 10, we go out to dinner is to please the women. It's not because we want to actually go out to dinner.
Wow.
So this idea
I think
there's no long
depends upon
lines
your
on
age.
Father's Day. I think it's more about the father.
Y'all, I'm going to commercial break. We'll see y'all in a minute.
We're gonna put this in this corner.
Hi, everybody. Hi, wait. You know I'm missing somebody. Hold on a second.
Yo,
hey,
you got me backstage. Come on, baby. I want to be here.
I just want to get straight to the point because I heard you had like some kind of surprise.
Big surprise, big announcement. Okay. I want to talk about the party and the after party.
The party and the after party.
The season finale is taking place on November the 28th. We're asking you to come and join us for that show. We will be live. The whole cast will be together live. Just the 4 of us all together celebrating. So don't come for 1 hour.
Not 1.
2 hours. November the 28th. Our season finale.
Yeah, see, that's R-Dub. R-Dub's a wild card on the show. I just want y'all to know.
And speaking of wild cards, this is every segment is my favorite segment, and this is my favorite segment. We're gonna bring in R-Dub because it is time for
In This Corner.
Well, yo, what's up, man? I like the hat.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I can have to go and get what I can afford. Life is what it is, man.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that right there. Nice. All right. I try to come out with a compliment, and you still, those who don't know, he's still throwing those uppercuts when I come out trying to. That was my way of touching gloves.
Okay.
And then you just threw a quick. You know what I mean?
Quick jab at, man, that's my bad. I appreciate it. Thanks for the compliment.
Cool. So should how much the pastor get paid be known by the church? Let me know your thoughts, bro.
Well, I understand that the church and the church members are the ones supporting the pastor financially and things of that nature. However, I don't think his salary should be posted and on the big screen for all to see, primarily for several reasons. Number one, everybody's going to be able to tell him what he needs to do and what he shouldn't do with his money. They're going to say how much he should be given, and then it's almost like their expectations of him is 24/7. But I think that because he's not going to know what they're getting paid, so he can put expectations on them. So I think that his salary should be respected. Now, I can understand leadership, but I don't believe that should be posted amongst and stand out when you have, let's just say you have other people on staff. If it's a part of the whole, that's different. But I don't think it should stand out as a sore thumb to the congregation because you bring up, judgmental people on the pastor and making him and his family isolated. Are we giving him all that money? And what do you do today? Come on. I think that's what happened to some immature Christians.
Interesting. I would say, obviously, I'm not in that camp. I think transparency is important. I think when I think about scriptures like 1 Timothy 3:2 about the overseer being above reproach, I think that there's something about that transparency and people when they give, I think they got a right to know what they're giving to and where that giving is actually going. Now, not just what they get paid, but I think is important to show, scripture 1 Timothy 5:17, that they're considered worthy of double honor. Those who work hard at preaching and teaching. I think 1 Corinthians 9:14, those who proclaim the gospel should get their living by the gospel. I mean, I think, it's not just what they get paid, but I think scripture to say that they deserve to get paid. 1 Timothy 5:18, shouldn't muzzle the ox, the labor is deserving of his wages. So I think, being able to communicate not just what they get, but why we give them what they get is important. You know, people say, well, why don't he volunteer like this person or that person? And scripture tells you why we compensate this one. Scripture tells us to compensate that one. So I don't think we need to be embarrassed by what we give them. I think we just need to justify by the scriptures what we give them.
And I can agree, but I think it all depends on how mature the congregation is and even how mature your leaders are. Because even though we read it in the scriptures, don't muzzle the ox. And I did a sermon some years ago. Please pay the preacher, and telling them, hey, the preacher needs to be paid and compensated like anyone else. And I'm not saying give the pastor the whole offering and have him handle the money. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you honor the pastor by paying him. If you're going to post anything, you post everything as a part of a lump sum situation as opposed to isolating, because I think that requires a lot of maturity. And be honest, a lot of our members aren't that mature to handle that, because not only do they know what the pastor's making, the community's going to find out what the pastor's making. And, you know, people don't keep everything to themselves.
Well, I hear that. And excuse me. But and here's the thing, I guess, again, it all is all about contextualization, right? And where you are. Most people think that pastors are overpaid, when the truth is most pastors are underpaid.
Right.
So the truth is pastors normally rarely get what their education qualifies them for, what their years of experience qualifies them for, the fact that they're on actual call and demand 24/7, the fact that they're under constant critique, as well as their families, the lack of benefits they normally got, the lack of job security. If the people decrease, your salary decrease. You know, the emotional toll that you take from the personal losses of people either leaving via death or abandonment. You know what I mean? And then churches pay, you know, so often based on what they can afford, not based on what that individual actually deserves, right? And so a pastor is expected to perform as the CEO, as a public speaker and preacher, as a teacher, as an administrator, as a counselor, as an outreach coordinator, as a fundraiser, as a hospital chaplain, like
custodian.
All of these jobs, all of these jobs, security, like all of these jobs. If you gave them these individual jobs, their salary would be out the roof. But most of them get underpaid in their life, and I think it's important sometimes that you know, and I know it's specifically in my case that they need to see, right, that you're getting a stipend, right? That I'm not. I mean, I'm making tents. I'm working another job. I got my hustles. You know, I like nice things, but I need my congregation to know y'all not buying these nice things. I got a housing allowance that don't pay for my house. Like I need them to know y'all didn't pay for the car, y'all didn't pay for my gear. Like I work hard to get all these things, and I really need them to see it. I really need them to know it, so they know that this is a sacrifice of love. I do what I do not for y'all money, but for the calling I got on my life. And so I mean, and there's so many me's out there,
right?
Like there's few that's embarrassed by the salary that I don't even want nobody to know what I got. Most of us are embarrassed because I don't want nobody to know what I got.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. But when I go back, and mine is based on, I guess, the maturity of the congregation and history. Because, for example, when a pastor drives a nice vehicle, and the church would say, well, we giving him too much money. If the pastor has a nice home, oh, we give him too much money. And when you have to say to them, as Paul said, oh, you got a house, why can't I have a house? You got nice things, why can't I have nice things? And my concern is when the pastor's W-2 is shown to the congregation, the expectations on that pastor doesn't decrease, it increases, because it all depends on who the person, everybody in the church.
Again, it all depends, but it depends on the salary, right?
Right.
That's all what I'm telling you. All you got to do is Google. You know what I mean? Like, just go. Pastors are grossly underpaid. Well, so what I'm saying is, I don't know too many people. Again, you're in a different, area code. No,
so, man, don't go there. Don't go there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't know too many cats who sitting there saying, I don't want them to know because they're going to expect more of me. What I'm saying is, I know the cats who doing it straight labor of love. They taking what the church can give. They supplement it. I know pastors that's been on welfare. You read the pastor's diaries. There's pastors that's pastoring and on welfare, but because they feel called to that church and they loyal to that church, they're willing to take whatever that church can give them, right? In order to do that ministry, and they're doing
the Herculean jobs, and I tip my hat off to them. And I'm saying, church, and let's just say that's probably a church where they know what the pastor is making. And then guess what the church said? Well, we're going to keep you humble so that you don't get a rise above your station.
They said we're going to keep you humble. I just think it need to be a balance. I just think it need to be a balance because I think it's a misnomer. I really think most
balances
pastors really getting paid, and they think they work one day a week. I mean, I think that, like, if across the board, I think you'll have people thinking that they're overpaid and they work one day a week. When they don't realize that these are individuals who 9 times out of 10 are underpaid and they on call 24/7.
That's sad, but that is so true, because I think the pastors need to be accountable, and I think it needs to be some balance. You know, he gets a raise once every 10 or 15 years.
So they should get one every 10 or 15 years.
Some of them I'm hearing they haven't gotten a raise since they got.
I don't. Hey, bring in PK. I like to know
bringing
when the
in
last time I got a raise. In fact, you know, the fact that the cost of living increase every year, it makes not only am I not getting a raise, I'm getting a decrease in my salary every year because I don't know when I got a raise.
Pastors do not get paid nearly what they should for the amount of work that's done. They don't nearly get enough the amount of time off. It is it's otherworldly. It really is. And insofar as what churches want to pay pastors and what they do, I grew up PK, and I saw what they tried to say they paid my dad, and it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing, and folks need to know, you're not just not paying the pastor, but that family is also suffering as a result of stinginess, misapplied priorities.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And you know, it's amazing. I think when we talk about this whole subject about pastor salary being divulged, there is an element, there's dignity that's when you have so many people in the pot seeing what a pastor makes, and that's almost like power. It's almost like this knowledge is power, because anytime you piss me off, I'm bringing it up. Whether it's too high, whether it's
too low,
I feel sorry for you. Leave a bag of rotten groceries on the steps.
Oh my gosh!
Whatever.
What is Wait, what is this turning into?
I got lost.
What is happening?
This is therapy. That's what it is. Therapy. It's in the
It's therapy for him right now. Let him get it off his chest, yo.
As a PK, he thinking about having 2 pair of pants with his brother he share. You know what I mean? He talking about that lack of income they had. But no, I'm telling you.
No, but seriously.
Wawa was starting at $15 an hour. You know, and I said, yo, you can start at Wawa and you'll get paid more than what I get paid over the course of the year. You can add it up if you want.
Right.
But I'm real serious about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And again, I choose, as Paul did, to make tents.
Right.
So I do choose to be co-vocational. I choose to do the things that I do so that I don't tax this church, so that one day this church can pay somebody full time. Right.
Right.
And so for me, I think is important, you know, again, that some things, you know, again, and the idea that it could be in a ball and you can say, hey, his salary and his salary and his salary is all a part of this. I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? I think if it's singled out, cats would probably start feeling guilty for what they're doing. And that's not it. I don't want you to feel guilty. And I don't want you to treat me like a hero for what I'm taking. But it should be known that I want to raise the bar, because when I came in, the pastor before me, he was so humble, he didn't take anything. So everything that every dollar I took was $1 more than a guy before me took, because he took nothing. So although he was very humble and I love him to death, he didn't set a precedence of compensating your pastor. And
right.
So I'm trying to, although I'm doing it in a humble way as well, I am trying to have it raised so that, or have us prepared to raise it so that at a certain point in time, they'll be able to pay somebody full time to do this job, unless that person chooses, as I chose, to make tents.
Well, guys, we are not going to do a commercial break.
Okay.
We are looking at PK. He is getting ready backstage, fixing his camera.
PK is getting ready for the pastor's kids' diaries. That's what he's.
I
That's
really,
what he's getting ready for. Hey, I told you I'm trying to finish up the pastor's wives right now.
look, you about to have a whole line.
He went to end of the trilogy. I got you, bro.
Men of Issachar.
Their last topic is going to be, when is it time to stop chasing members who disappear? Oh, I know to hear this.
Wow. What a topic.
I know that's right.
So, thinking about this, I thought, let's qualify the question. So there are some people who want to be found and they get lost in order to get attention. Then there are some folks who don't want to be found. And it is wild. This subject kind of brought up some thinking and some thoughts, some memories.
Okay.
Well,
did you want to share that, or that was your pause to let me in?
That was the pause. When I thought about some folks that don't want to be found, I thought about the parable Jesus told about the son who asked for his inheritance and went to a far country and spent the inheritance. And he wanted to get as far away from that relationship as possible. And so it wasn't until he came to the end of himself that he came back. But that whole subject of when is it time to stop chasing members who disappear. And I thought about that the prodigal son is who we kind of identify. And I thought about that whole experience in a far country and what that's like, from running away from the Lord, running away from God, running away from that relationship in the community. Man, it's just it's a sad condition. And I think as pastors, you wonder, like, at what point do I stop?
Okay. And so when I think, I mean, this is a tough one, period. As a under shepherd, you rarely ever want to let sheep go. You reach out over and over again, only to be rejected or feel ghosted. You feel offended. You feel abandoned, and then you begin to. They begin to see you as harassing them because you keep reaching out, or you can stop reaching out to them and they accuse you of just giving up on them, right? And I ain't heard from him in forever, and it's like, wow, what do you do? So if you don't hear from somebody in a year, do you take them off your roll? Like at what if they have not given offering in a year, do you take them off your roll? If when you see folks that you ain't seen in person in a year and they tell you, oh, I'm watching online. It's like, really? You know what I mean? Does that mean you're still a part of this local fellowship or not? You don't come, you don't give, you don't serve, and you're not sick and shut in. So at what point? You know what I mean? At what point is it? Do you let go?
and I think what hurts is the expectation when some of those folks who have disappeared, the expectation of intimacy and family, of that immediate response when in crisis. I'm still a part of this, and it's they want you to drop everything and kind of run to that. And in some ways that's something that, the Lord may be leading us to do. I thought about Galatians 6:1. The brothers and sisters of someone is caught in a sin, you who live by the Spirit should restore that person gently, but watch yourselves, or you also may be tempted. And that's specifically talking about someone who's caught in a sin. And usually sin kind of pushes someone away from fellowship. Usually that, and I'm not saying it all, but some of these members who may disappear because they want to live a specific lifestyle. But Paul kind of encourages us to restore them gently, is to be gentle, to be almost like, the Lord gave us the example of Homer and Hosea, and that whole prospect of going back out and getting that person back again, pulling them back again, and being tenacious about restoration in that relationship. And he uses that as a picture of himself, the Lord with Israel, the Lord with his people, and how they have trifled on his grace. Mm-hmm. And so it's like that tension of what do you do, and what is too much, and what is rescuing someone from really being under the Lord's discipline, which behaves as a teacher and a maturer. Like, it matures that individual who is out there, kind of when they're out there experiencing life away from the body, life away from walking in intimacy with Jesus. And that can be a wake-up call for them. That can be something that's going to really help them to grow.
Yeah, I get that. I think those are specific. That's a very specific situation when we talk about, somebody being in sin. But I guess at some point we got to believe in like seasons. Sometimes people are only meant to be with you in a certain church for a certain season, of their life. You met them at this part of their growth spurt. You was able to take them to here, and then they were supposed to go over here and do. So, I think, if you leave a church well, I know you leave us well, we celebrate you. We acknowledge your leaving. We pray for you. We give you gifts, but if you leave under what, we call suspect conditions, we don't say a thing. And the truth is we don't badmouth you. We don't say a word. That's your business. We don't throw you under the bus. We just publicly act like you just never were there. We just don't say nothing. And then whatever narrative they create, whatever one they share, when they run into members, we let them tell it. You know what I mean? We let them say they heard this and they heard that, and we just keep it pushing. But I think at some point in time, pastors, churches, we got to come to a place where I believe we have to learn how to let members go. This is kind of where I'm growing to, right? Because I think we cool if they're moving. We cool if they got some doctrinal differences that's going to make them and us uncomfortable. We cool if they got some sin in their life that we would rather another church have to deal with, right?
Yeah.
But when it's a good attending and giving and serving member, it's hard to let that person go.
Yeah.
I think, but the truth is, I think members can leave and go somewhere because that's where their friends go. We don't think it's a good idea, but they choose to leave for community, and boom, they're out. They go because they want more classes. This church offered me more classes. I want to just keep learning stuff. And we feel like, man, I wish you did something with what you already learned. And maybe you should even start teaching something. It's the greatest way to learn. But instead, nope, they want more Bible classes and want you to do more. And if you don't do more, boom, they out. Then you got those who on Sunday morning, they want to be a Bible seminary class.
Yeah.
Yet your vision is to put it on the ground floor, right? Yeah. Your vision is to let somebody who never walked in be able to walk in, get a good word, some meat,
but in a way that they can understand it. We're not taking you to the end of the book. You know what I mean? We're helping you get to understand the book. You know what I mean? If you never heard the gospel, and yet edify you if you've been here for 30 years. But that person don't care what your vision is. They want a Bible study class. Give me on Sunday morning, give me the Hebrew and give me the Greek. And if you don't, boom, once again, I'm out, right? And I think at the end of the day, the point is the sheep don't belong to us.
Yeah, they belong to the Lord.
They don't belong to us. They his. And as long as they leave our church and they go to another Bible, believing, preaching, teaching church, I hope that what we deposited in them can bless the places that they go. Now, I'm saying that, and I'm hoping that I can mature enough to really believe
to walk in that truth.
What I just
Yeah. No, and that's I was going to say
what I just
I'm on board with everything that you done said, but emotionally, it hurts.
It hurts.
It
Absolutely.
hurts when folks you fellowship with, and even if they leave well, and we've had folks at Great Commission that have left well, and it still hurts. And then we have folks that have not left well, and it
still hurts.
And it still hurts. And because I believe that that's a sign that somehow in that time that we fellowship here, we've experienced real koinonia, real fellowship in the spirit, real partnership in the ministry. There was something special that was shared and that was obtained. There was something that was shared as family that we're going to miss. And
Absolutely.
There's a lot of churches that don't experience that.
Yeah, when you prayed for these folks so many times, and you've done played such a part in their life in so many different stages, it doesn't just go away. Whether or not you mad at me or not, I still remember when your baby was born. Whether or not you mad at me or not, I still remember when we counseled when your marriage was on the brink of divorce. You know what I mean? No matter what, you know what I mean? I done prayed for you more times than I done spoke to you. And then when you're gone, you know what I mean? That missing prayer. Like, hey, you're not praying for this person no more. There's under somebody else's care now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got these people who you praying for now. It doesn't just leave your spirit because we had a spiritual connection. It was more. It was more than what our flesh demonstrated for me. I don't know how often you prayed for me, and so you might could just walk out the door and not even look back. Oh yeah, I do remember him, but because I labored before the Lord on your behalf, there's always a part of me that gets robbed of that spirit.
Y'all can hear the emotion. You know how close this is to you guys.
Really?
It's almost like y'all remembering people and faces and everything. So even calling out the church where the folk left. So hey.
What are you talking about?
But it is difficult to see people you loved on, got to know, and one person had advised me, you're sad to see people go, and now there's this different conferences, they telling people, pastors, let them go, they belong to the Lord, let the Lord deal with them. And you kind of have to, but it still don't take away the fact that you feel some kind of way because of that.
You know, and we're always faced with the question, how do I say goodbye to what we've had?
Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and go to a commercial break. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. Hi, wait. You know I'm missing somebody. Hold on a second.
Yo,
hey.
You got me backstage. Come on, baby. I want to be here.
I just want to get straight to the point because I heard you had like some kind of surprise.
Big surprise, big announcement. Okay. I want to talk about the party and the after party.
The party and the after party.
The season finale is taking place on November the 28th. We're asking you to come and join us for that show. We will be live. The whole cast will be together live. Just the four of us all together celebrating. So don't come for 1 hour.
Not one.
2 hours. November the 28th. Our season finale.
All right, and we Not really sure what's happening on season 8.
You always call it season 8. What is wrong with you?
Oh, wait, did I say season 8?
Yeah, you say season 8.
Oh my goodness. That was the prophecy, guys. Just go ahead and take it. Just take it. Well, episode 8, and this is our favorite segment. We're going to go ahead and go on the spot. Well, how are you, Dr.
I'm
LA?
good. I'm good. Let's get it. I'm hyped.
This has been a great night. Okay, you just need. Well, can I introduce him first before we bring him in?
Introducing.
Okay, I'm going to read his bio.
Go ahead.
Okay. Colby Tyner. Is that Tyner or Tenor? I did not ask him before, but he'll correct me when he gets on.
Yes, he will.
Is a senior vice president of programming for Urban One's Radio One and Reach Media divisions, responsible for the planning, developing and implementing the overall content strategy, including radio programming, operations for 60 plus radio stations across the country with various formats, leading a team of programming managers and talent. He is the real deal. Colby is also leading podcasting content curation and operations and hosts the Backstory podcast with Colby Colb. So if you don't know, now you know. We are bringing on the spot on episode 8.
Let's go.
None other than Colby Colb.
Let's go. Dude, what's up, man?
What's good?
How you doing? It's good to be here. I feel like I gotta get used to calling you Dr. LA because I know you differently. So
hey, you call me what you like, bro. It's all good. We go so far back. You know, I just, man. I'm so excited, man. Just to hear your bio, to see your rise, and to see your longevity, man. How long you been in the game?
I've been in the business 36 years.
How'd you do it?
That's amazing.
How'd you do it?
I started as a kid. So I was just a kid growing up in Philly, and I just my parents were divorced, and I lived in Germantown, and I didn't really go out and do nothing. I just listened to the radio. So it was sort of like, it was something that kept me busy and kept me out of trouble. And the God's honest truth, man, I when I look at all the things that I have done to date, and I'm still got so much more that I want to do, it blows my mind that I get paid to do this, and I get a chance to just help so many people and help people that was like me when I was younger that want to get into media.
Right.
So it's just a blessing, man. I don't have another answer for you other than I just something I always wanted to do. I can't imagine doing anything else. If I had to do something else, I would. But I'm blessed enough to do something that I love and that I'm good at, and I was able to excel at the highest levels and made a lot of history. So that's always cool. I appreciate that.
When did you fall in love with music, and how did you enter the game?
Well, I was a teenager. It was actually hip hop, really, because I was a teenager. And, my parents were divorced, and my dad lived in New York City, and my mom lived in Philly. And so I went to school in Philly, high school, and elementary and all that. I went in Philly. And then on my weekends and my summers, I would go to New York City. So, hip hop was sort of like being born in New York. Coming back, oh, man, I had all this energy. So it was probably Lady B when I was a teenager, listening to her when she was on HAT, when it was on the AM.
Mm-hmm.
And on the street beat, and I was listening to Mr. Magic in New York and all of the things that were happening in New York, and I was like, man, I want to be on a radio so I can play hip hop records. I love hip hop. I was 15 years old.
Wow!
And I came down to the station,
That's
and
dope.
I went down on the subway, and I went into the station. And I saw all the buttons and everything. I met Red Alert and Chuck Chillout, who was some icons.
Cool.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I got to do this. So then, when I graduated high school, I started my internship in August of 1986, and then I did my internship, and then by the time we got to March of 87, I got hired after my internship was up, and the rest is kind of history. So it's sort of my journey in radio.
He put in the work, okay?
Oh, absolutely.
He put in the work.
Absolutely. It's interesting when you to have that love of hip hop, and when you was on the radio, there was the no hip hop work day. Nobody
Yep.
would play it. Only
Yep.
time you could hear hip hop in Philly was on Friday night.
You're not
Was
lying.
on radio, radioactive, and this, and being, at that time, an artist, hip hop, Fat Cat. I remember, it was like, yo, if you want to get on, you got to get through Colby. You got to know Colb. I knew DJ Rand. He went to Central, went to high school, but it was like, hey, Colb is the dude. You got to know him. And I remember when we first met, man, and I was like, and they told me. And I've never told you that, but they told me that, yo, this dude is straight laced, he clean cut, he don't like none of that nonsense. I came to meet you with my SEPTA uniform on. I wanted, I can't, you remember that? I came to meet you. I had my SEPTA uniform on. I wanted to show you, like, dude, I ain't one of the drug dealers. This ain't one of those rap groups. We not the hustlers. We love music. We just doing this thing. We're honest about it. And I came and I sat down and we talked, man, and you gave us an opportunity, and you were in the first video, you gave us our start. And so I owe so much kudos to you. Fat Cats owe kudos to you. We've always been supportive of you, fan of yours. And to see you rise like that, it just does my heart good. You done interviewed everybody, man. Like, have you ever been, because you've been in this so long, and so but have you ever been starstruck? Have you ever met somebody, did an interview with somebody, and you sat there like, man, I can't believe I'm actually talking to this dude right now.
Jones, that's it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I can imagine that.
Yeah. And he showed up to the station with no entourage, just this woman that was his assistant. This dude produced like the biggest album ever. So it was just, awestruck, man. He's just, still alive, and just one of the most amazing creatives that I've ever had a chance to meet. So, yeah. Out of everybody, it would be him.
I know you mentioned being clean cut, but I also know you're a man of faith. And how has that interacted with all of entertainment world for you?
It's just, I'm all for everybody has their own individual journey, and I mean I have my own journey of faith. It's it's riddled with contradictions and pitfalls, but it's also great moments. I'm humble, man. Like, I'm humble to be here because I still have some health challenges that I am okay in this moment, but last year was like a real scary time for me, and I'm not really ready yet to talk a little bit about it, but there was definitely like a serious illness that I didn't know I was walking around with, and I had serious surgery, and the surgery didn't go well. And so, like, when I tell you, brother, the first thing he said when I said to you is, "I'm happy to be here."
Okay,
I know it.
Not supposed to be here, so like,
Amen.
I'm like,
Amen.
Most people in my life don't know this, but it was in my spirit to say it in this moment. That, like, I always tell people to really appreciate every day that you get, because this is really not promised, and you really just like have to like live in the moment. And so I always explain to people when I come across them, like, live in the moment. Like, people be upset about stuff, and like life is too short. And so my whole life has really been just a very amazing blessing, and I will never like discount that.
Amen.
That's
I
awesome.
don't know if you know, I done battled cancer twice.
Yeah.
In 18 and 20.
You already know. Like, it's
a journey. Absolutely.
But I didn't know. I just found out accidentally, and I ended up having a 17-hour surgery with 2 surgeons, and ended up in ICU the last 8 days of 2022. I would never forget that.
Wow.
But I made it.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
Praise the Lord. Praise the
Don't
Lord.
let me shout. Sorry, y'all know,
Praise
because
the Lord.
it don't
Don't-
take a lot for me to get up and run.
Don't start.
I'm like, thank you.
Before I let her go and do what she do, I just want to thank you, man, seriously, for just always being grounded, always loving your wife and your kids, always promoting them, always being who you are. You've never fronted, you know what I mean? And you continue to rise, but every time I've seen you, every time I've ever saw you, you've always stayed true to who you are, and I love that, man, and I appreciate you. And you interview everybody else as if they're stars, and I'm thankful to interview you, man, because you've been a star in my
True
life,
star.
and so I appreciate you, bro.
No, I appreciate that, man. Listen, I was at your wedding, so like I know you like. But no, man, I always liked you guys. You and your brother were just great, and we just some cats from Philly, man. That we've been through a lot, and we strong, man. And I just I just appreciate it. But what I liked about you and your brother were that again, you was just working class dudes, and you was hardworking every day, but you had this dream, and so you poured into this dream, and even when somebody stole basically your music, big hit. That's crushing for most people. We roll for you, right? We roll for you. Like that was that was an unfortunate moment, but you didn't give up, and I know that was just I know how that felt for you guys, and absolutely. I'm glad I was a part of it. I'm glad we still here, that we can talk, and that we can share these stories.
I know you have to go, Colby, so I normally do a round robin, but I'm not going to do that.
Just throw it at me. Let's knock it
okay.
out.
Okay, I can. Okay, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
What kind of blue? Royal blue?
I just like any kind of blue.
You just like any shade of blue?
Yeah, I just like.
Okay, favorite food?
I don't really have a favorite food, man. I'm sorry.
Nothing that your wife cooks that you really just like.
Now why you gonna have to bring his wife in it?
Because I was saying, like,
so now they're gonna have to say something.
It could be something that is a favorite that you're like, babe, make this.
No, I mean, you know what it is? Like, I just love all kinds. I love good food, and I go to restaurants all over the world. So, like, I'm always eating something good. I need to not eat as much, but
okay,
I'll leave that one. Sorry.
Well, what's your favorite R&B song?
Oh, "Wishing on a Star" from Rolls Royce.
Oh.
And can I get the final one?
You can get the final one. Okay, go ahead.
Who's the GOAT?
Who's the GOAT?
Oh,
hip hop. Who's the GOAT?
Hove.
What?
Wow.
Is that who you went with, Colby? I mean, I grew up with you. Oh my goodness, that's who you chose.
I mean, like, it's Hove. It's like
Hove.
Yes.
Really? Over Biggie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure. I know Dr. Elliott gave his accolades. I'm giving you your flowers while you can still smell them. I grew up with you. So when I found out that I was going to be the producer on this show for Colby Colb, I was like, what? I need an autograph electronically or something. So I am proud of you and all of your accomplishments. Like, it's good to see how your journey was, and it lets us know. I mean, we're hustlers, like you said, 215. So just to watch your journey, it is a blessing. And yes, thank you. We're going to ask you one more favor. But we want you to just go ahead and leave maybe like a 30-second or 1 minute word of encouragement or a point, whatever you want to do for our listening audience. Okay, it's all you.
Hey man, just appreciate life. Every day you get is a blessing. If there's something that you want to do, if there's something that you want to achieve, you got to go for it, and you can't worry about what other people will say in your life or will try to stop you from or try to prevent you this dream thing that you have. You got to kind of move forward and have that energy and just love on yourself and nurture yourself, and then just drive yourself and make great decisions. And most importantly, treat everybody with kindness. Have that spirit inside you, because the energy you give the universe, it will give back to you in abundance, good and bad. Thank you.
I wasn't ready to be back. And so when you said, was that not dope? I was like, oh, we are back. We're live. Hi, guys. This was a good season.
It was. Where my crew at?
I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave.
Better than yours. Yo, look at my crew. What's up?
There's the crew.
What's up?
Yo, this is the end, folks.
Oh, my.
This is the end.
Episode 8.
8 is great.
Episode 8 of seasons. I knew you were gonna come in.
Come on. You know,
It's always gonna be
It's
a
always
song. Okay. PK, how did you enjoy this season?
I thought this season was magnanimous.
Magnanimous.
It was a great season. I loved the In His Corner. In this corner topics, I love the on the spot. I love everything. The interviews were incredible.
They were
just the
unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Unimaginable.
Unseen. You hear me?
You're good,
Yeah.
You are good.
You know what?
We still on here.
You know what? I didn't realize how many comedians we had.
I'm telling you, man. Stand-up comics.
You the main one, Arda.
I know that's right. You want a hat? Come on.
Like, what is happening?
I'm sorry, man. Some of us don't get paid enough to get, verbal.
Here you go. Okay, so how was your season, Arda?
It was excellent. I am so grateful to God for this and the time we spent together. I appreciate you all, your wisdom and your humor, because as believers, if you don't mind me saying, one friend said, we take God seriously, but don't take each other seriously. Because, you got to learn to laugh. You got to learn to enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think that I've enjoyed this season. It was great. It was great.
Dr. L.A., how was your season?
It was fire. I mean, I thought the topics just was better. I think season 2, I enjoyed those. I can't wait for what we get thrown in on season 3. I mean, there was so many to choose from for this season to be able to narrow it down to the ones we picked. But I thought those was just great. Again, I love the chemistry. I love the interaction. And I think, with all the garbage, honestly, that's out there for people to watch, to be able to put on this where we're trying to edify and we're trying to entertain. Well, I don't know if we're trying to entertain.
I don't know if we're trying to entertain. It just happens that way.
We just edify and equip and touch on some stuff, but have fun while we doing it.
Right.
I just think it's a great. I think it's a great show.
Amen.
I thank all of you for really partnering and making this vision come to reality and come to fruition, man. Because I look at the subscribers we had from when we started to where we are, and I just can't say it enough. The body needs to see it. You know what I mean? It's not. The body needs to see it. Christians need to be able to see it. This should be, I believe, in my opinion, one of the number one podcasts for Christians to watch.
It is the number one podcast. Guys, you are watching the number one podcast in the Christian sector.
I think it should be that. So I think,
good.
The more we like and share and subscribe and get it out there, I think, getting in the right hands, the right people see it. It should do that, man. It should do what we wanted to do, and that's just be a blessing to the body of Christ. You know what I mean?
No, but guys, this has been a great season. We thank all of you for joining us. You see the ticker on the bottom that has our email address, Athens Avenue podcast @gmail.com. If you want to sponsor us, come on, we need sponsors. Come on in here and send us that email so that we can start that, so that we can get to other places, right? Thank you all for being such awesome hosts and co-hosts. You guys did such a good job this season, and you listened. Even you are Dub. So that was good.
even me.
Even you.
Man,
you. And
I'm growing.
And let me shout out Darnell Jackson. I cannot.
Yes.
Let's round of applause because without him, what we do does not look as good as it looks.
Man, we appreciate it.
We are producing and designing what is Dr. L.A.'s vision, and it is a pleasure to be a part. We will see you in the live show. At the party. Completely live. We want to hear your questions. We want to hear everything. So follow us, like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you in the after party. Peace.
Peace.